Alright, so the Mora Garberg, it's one of the most popular bushcraft cutting tools right now in the camping, survivalist and bushcraft scene on YouTube. A lot of people use this cutting tool, and I believe that the reason for its popularity is that it's a full tang cutting tool. It has a full tang. The tang is even exposed here at the backside. And Mora usually doesn't produce full tang cutting tools. They rather use stick tangs, but this knife has a full tang, and that's what I really like about it, because full tang means stability and less risk of breaking. And yeah, I've used this cutting tool in the last, I don't know, couple of weeks, and it hasn't failed me so far. And today I wanted to make a destruction test and push the Mora Garberg to its boundaries. Okay, the first thing that I want to show you is what I have done to the sheath. I really like the sheath. It's pretty sturdy, and it comes with two options. It comes first of all with a ring where there's a security strap attached, and second of all, it comes with a ring with a belt loop. And the first ring clips onto the sheath, but the second ring doesn't. So you can either choose one of the two, or you can do it like me. I have glued on the second ring onto the sheath, so now I can't lose it anymore, because I would like to have both the belt loop and the extra security strap. Okay, next I want to show you the cutting tool and what I have done to it. You probably already have noticed that I have misused the handle as a bow drill socket, as a bearing block. And yeah, I just wanted to see if it is suitable as a bearing block. So yeah, it's really a great bearing block, and it works much better than, for example, a wooden bearing block. It's very efficient, and I've made a bow drill fire with it. So in case you have to misuse your handle, the lanyard hole of your handle, for a bearing block, you know that you can. Of course, the handle will get destroyed, but that's not the fault of the manufacturer. Other than that, I have to say that the plastic material is awesome. I really like it. It's very robust, and I'm sure that you can use it for years and years without the handle wearing off. The blade itself is still in very good shape and pretty sharp. And now I want to make a destruction test and see how good the knife will hold up to it, how long it will stay sharp, if it will chip or not, and if it will break or not. What I also like about the Mora Garberg is that it comes with a very sharp spine, so it's no problem to strike the fire steel with the back of the blade. Okay folks, first of all I want to put on very hard beechwood with the blade, and usually this shouldn't be a problem for the blade, but I've had other knives which would chip on beechwood. So let's try this out quickly. Yeah, this is no problem at all. To make it a little bit harder for the blade, I want to put on the back of it with a stone. And this is abuse of the knife, of course it is, but today I'm performing a destruction test and I'm pushing the blade to its limits, okay? So now I'm going to strike the blade with it. Let's see if it breaks. No chips or whatever. So the blade is still intact. Next, I want to put on a little bit of wood and see if I can break off the knife. I saw a spark. They are coming, a lot of sparks are coming off the blade, so maybe it has a higher carbon content, but it's stainless steel, so I try to hit on the tip of the blade because I want to test out if it breaks. Okay, I couldn't get it to break. Yeah, now we have the first sign of damage. The blade edge has rolled over and also chipped. So I have like 2 chips in it. But this is not surprising, you know. So some knives, they don't chip when cutting metal. This blade here is of course made for cutting wood and not for chopping metal. But still, it's interesting to see how the blade reacts, and every blade reacts different, right? So for example, I've batoned metal with the cold steel SRK, and the AUS 8 steel didn't chip at all. It just rolled over the edge. But here it's a different story. They have taken a different steel. I don't know what kind it is. And yeah, it chips a little bit so far. Okay, next I want to baton the blade with my axe. And this is really abuse now, so there's no excuse for that. But I still want to see if I can break the blade or not. Okay, now I have broken off the tip. Yeah, but still, here you can blame the company, because usually you shouldn't use metal on metal. A metal baton is the worst thing that you can do. And yeah, this is not the manufacturer's fault. And I think with a wooden baton, this wouldn't have happened. Okay, now I want to find out if I can break the tip even more by bending it. Okay, it didn't break, so that's pretty good. Next comes the stone chopping test. I'm going to slash the blade onto the stone, and then we will see how much damage the blade will take. But before that, I want to show you the blade, how it looked before I slashed the stone. So I have a broken tip here, and I have 2 chips here. Okay, I'm just going to protect my eyes from the stone, from the fragments of the stone. The edge rolled over. I'm going to hit it one more time. Yeah, so basically the edge got condensed and rolled over a little bit to the sides, but there's no chip of the blade. Okay, to sum it all up, I believe that the Mora Garberg is a good all-around bushcraft cutting tool. However, I have to say that I wish to see 2 things. So if I could change 2 things with the Mora Garberg, then first of all it would be a slightly longer blade, because this blade now has about 10 centimeters, a little bit more maybe. So if it was a little bit longer, it would be so much easier to put on bigger logs. That's my first improvement that I personally would make on this blade. And the second improvement would be on the handle. I know that it's coming from Sweden and it's Mora, and they like to make these traditional Scandinavian handles, and those traditional handles, they come without the finger guard. Yeah, and the problem is that, you know, a lot of people who might buy this cutting tool, they are not professionals. Some of them are beginners, some of them are regular people who don't, you know, use cutting tools every day. And actually, Mora has produced a knife which is called, I believe, the Bushcraft or Survival Mora, and there they have installed a great finger guard. And yeah, a lot of guys say, yeah, you need to pay attention when you cut with a knife. That's true, okay, you need to pay attention, but sometimes maybe you're tired, you're worn out or exhausted, and maybe you're in a lot of stress or just thinking of something else, and then it happens so fast and you slip over onto the blade and then you cut yourself. And you can't be careful enough, and extra safety wouldn't disturb this handle design, so I personally would like to have a proper finger guard. And yeah, so that is my suggestion for the company Mora if they ever watch this video. Yeah guys, so this was my review of the Mora Garberg. I hope that you liked this video, and also I would really like you to hit the notification bell on my YouTube channel, because otherwise you probably won't get notified anymore of my uploads. Subscription is not enough anymore. You really need to hit the notification bell.